The Pentagon backpedals after Austin says Israel killed over 25,000 women and kids in Gaza. A Pentagon spokesperson claimed the defense secretary was citing the total number of Palestinians killed in Israel, but the numbers don't add up. The Pentagon attempted damage control Thursday after this is from, when was this from?
February 29th.
This is from February 29th.
Number's probably higher now.
So Lloyd Austin said during a congressional hearing that over 25,000 Palestinian women and children have been killed during Israel's 146-day assault on Gaza. Austin's remark came in reply to a question from Representative Ro Khanna during a House Armed Service Committee hearing focused. I wish we had this video. After he was about how many Palestinians, women, and children. Oh, maybe we do have it. Have been killed by Israel since October 7th. Khanna asked. Well, is this it?
About how many Palestinian women and children have been killed by Israel since...
Here it is. It's right here. What the fuck?
About how many Palestinian women and children have been killed by Israel since October 7th?
It's over 25,000.
Mr. Secretary, last week, the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights...
Wow, he just says it. Watch this.
About how many Palestinian women and children have been killed by Israel since October 7th?
It's over 25,000.
Wow,
Mr.
Putin's
Secretary,
a monster, huh? Vladimir Putin's
last
a
week,
monster.
the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights warned that any transfer of weapon or ammunition to Israel violates international law. About how many precision-guided munitions has the United States given Israel since the beginning of the war?
I don't have that number at my fingertips, but we have endeavored.
Mr. Zaid, it's about 21,000 precision-guided munitions to Israel since the start of the war. Secretary Austin, last week you spoke to Defense Minister Gallant, and you said clearly there needs to be a plan to ensure the safety and support of those sheltering in Rafah before any military operations proceed. National Security Advisor Sullivan has said he has not seen any plan yet. John Kirby said it would be a disaster to invade Rafah. If Netanyahu defies the United States and invades Rafah, will you commit today that you will halt any future military sales to Israel?
No.
Obviously, sir, that's a presidential decision, but
no.
You know, we expect that. And by the way, I spoke to Minister Gallant last night, and I expect that when we provide munitions to allies and partners, that they'll use them in a responsible way.
But would you make a commitment that they defy what we're saying and they violate international law, by the way, which is opposed to National Security Memorandum 18 and National Security Memorandum 20, that if they don't do what we're saying, that we would halt those arms sales or transfers?
Again, the decision to halt the provision of security assistance would not be mine. It would be...
What would you recommend?
Well, I certainly, again, I really do expect that that they utilize the weapons that we provide them in a responsible way, and then if they don't,
I just want to, for time purposes, it seems to me if they're defying what you're telling them, what Kirby's telling them, what Sullivan's telling them, that wouldn't be responsible. Cindy McCain, the head of the World Food Program, has said that the Palestinian children are starving. Extremist settler Stomrich, Israel's finance minister, stopped American flour, which our taxpayers paid for to get into Gaza. If Israel again ever stops American-paid aid from getting into Gaza, will you commit to not sending future arms sales?
Again, that's not my decision. I would, number one, do what I've been doing and engage the leadership and encourage them to ensure that humanitarian assistance is getting.
Mr. Secretary, I would just say, and one more question, that we need some consequences when another country is defying you, defying the National Security Advisor, defying the President, defying National Security Memorandum 20. There has to be some consequence. And then I was surprised John Kirby said that Israel is taking more precautions than the U.S. military would to protect civilian life.
I hope
Mr.
not.
Austin, Secretary Austin, isn't that statement inaccurate given Israel has used hundreds of 22,000-pound dumb bombs when there were no place for civilians to go? Would the U.S. government ever target terrorists with 2,000-pound bombs in a densely populated area?
Well, I mean, It depends on the situation.
I mean, we've done some crazy
again,
shit.
So have we done that? Use 45% of bombs that are unguided or a 2,000-pound bomb? I mean, do you really think that the Israeli government military is taking more precautions than the United States military would?
I think
Toss up. I give it a toss up.
Just based upon the results in terms of the significant loss of life.
Gentleman's time's expired. Chair, and I recommend.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, thank God.
Wait, Secretary Austin is like a carnival pinhead. And by the way, Ro Khanna, shut the fuck up. What would you do, motherfucker? Clearly, you won't do shit.
He's not doing shit.
With
He's for slaughtering people in Ukraine. Again, within hours, Pentagon spokesperson Sabrina Singh attempted to walk back her boss's admission, claiming Austin was citing figures by the Hamas-run Gaza Ministry of Health, and that the defense secretary was referring to the total number of Palestinians killed in Gaza. However, Singh's explanation doesn't add up. According to the Gaza Ministry of Health figures cited by the Times of Israel Thursday, Israeli forces have killed a total of at least 30,189 Palestinians in Gaza since October 7th. Of these, at least 13,230 are children. Wow, they're just wiping out children.
Yeah, it is precision. That's not dumb bombs. They're precision killing the children and the women on purpose.
8,000,
like Dresden, like they told you.
And 8,860 of those killed are women, for the total of 22,090. Wow, so he was, wow.
They want the kids dead. They want the kids dead.
Wow.
So, yeah, no, they are taking more care than Americans because their goal is to murder their women and children. And that's their goal. And they said it.
At least 10,000 other people are missing and presumed dead and buried beneath the rubble of bombed buildings. And even that figure is probably significantly undercounted. Assuming even half of the missing people are women and children, who account for 73% of the known deaths, then the number of women and children killed far exceeds 25,000. In late October, U.S. President Joe Biden was accused of genocide denial after he said he had no confidence in Palestinian officials' casualty figures, even though such data has been deemed reliable by the United Nations agencies, human rights groups, Israel, and international media, and even the Biden administration in past reports on Israel attacks on Gaza. Leaf's assessment came during a congressional hearing interrupted by Code Pink activists. Members of the women-led anti-war group were again present at Austin's hearing, during which Khanna also noted that the United States has provided 21,000 precision-guided munitions to Israel. We heard him say that. On Thursday, the U.S. Department spokesperson Matt Miller responded awkwardly during a press conference when pressed by Palestinian journalist Saad Arikat on why it is so difficult for this government to say we condemn the killing of Palestinian women and children. We don't want to see anyone die, Miller answered during a 4-minute exchange.
Well, your friend does. Your friends in Israel do.
With Arikat, in which the spokesperson refused to say the word condemn and blamed Hamas for the more than 100,000 Palestinians killed or maimed by U.S.-backed Israeli forces.
You know what, buddy? It's okay. Don't say condemn. I love the fight about whether you'll condemn. As if it means absolutely anything. Yeah, I condemn it. Will something change if I condemn it? No. Okay.
So that's it is remarkable what's happening, and I have been in conversations, as Kurt says, with people who say, "Hey, what we did at Dresden, we did this in Dresden. They're just doing what we did. You got to be you have to do horrible things to end a war." That's what what people
Putin.
say.
He's not allowed. Not Putin though.
And
Putin
I'm like, so you're all just as despicable as Dick Cheney.
Hitler. You're despicable as
Hitler.
I mean, what is everyone talking about?
By the way, we didn't have to do Dresden to end the war. It was just like we didn't have to drop those nuclear bombs.
We had to drop 2.
We
just wanted to scare Stalin, and it worked so well that he got a bomb immediately from us and created a nightmare. So none of these plans have ever worked out, except I guess you could say job creating in a way. But now I never want to see some pointy head fucking academic do a psychological expert. How could that horror of the Holocaust happen when normal people didn't do anything? I wonder how that could have happened.
So Carl Jung talked about, they asked him to condemn the Nazis singularly as being singularly evil, and he wouldn't, because he knew that we all had a Nazi in our unconscious.
Yeah.
And so you see this play out. I mean, Look what the
and also they won the war.
Look at the rape of Nanking. Look at what the Chinese did to their people. No, the
Japanese did to the Chinese.
Yeah, the Japanese did to the Chinese. Yes. Look at what the Chinese did to their own people in the Cultural Revolution.
Yeah.
Look at what Israel's doing to Gaza.
Look how we got this amazing country of ours.
Look at what we did to Dresden. Look what we did with the nuclear bombs. Look how what Kurt just said. Look what we did to get this wonderful country of ours. We wiped out the Indians. We did a genocide.
I don't want to throw too many stones at Israel because we wouldn't have this fine nation.
That's right.
And we got no plan. Don't do a land acknowledgement, okay? You're just rubbing it in. We ain't giving it back.
We ain't giving it back.
But at least that was hundreds of years ago, and someone's not trying to do it right today.
Right.
While there's a bunch of pink and blue hairs, colonialism. They're just blathering that nonsense. While this is clown world. This is clown world. Is going to get just funnier and funnier. The hideous evil that's going to be thrown in your fucking face. It's going to be to the point of absurdity.
And so when they say that, by the way, I just watched a video by Do Dissidents. I used to think that had the T's at the end, Do Dissidents, but it's not. It's got a C-E's, Do Dissonance. Anyway, I just watched a video on them. You know that the ADL started, they say anti-Semitism has skyrocketed. Do you know why? Because they're now including criticisms of Zionism as anti-Semitism.
Yeah, right.
Of course that's not anti-Semitism. But you know who does want you to think that Zionism equals Judaism? The Zionists.
As did Hitler.
They do.
As did Hitler. Wait, you know ADL, I don't know if you guys are aware of what a piece of shit group that is, but
I am.
So you remember the famous
the Anti-Defamation
genocide.
League.
Yeah, so Abe Foxman, the guy that founded it, who is as big a piece of shit as this bald guy that runs it now. The reason the Armenian genocide has never been recognized as a genocide by America isn't just the Turkey thing. It's because the ADL fought hard for it not to be recognized.
Really?
Because Abe Foxman, I swear to God,
because they want to be special,
it would take attention away from their Holocaust.
Oh.
So don't just blame the Turks. It's also the ADL, when Abe Foxman ran it. I thought, here's how naive of a moron I am. I thought never again meant we shouldn't have any more Holocausts in the world.
No. Just for them.
Of my club. Just of us. It's fine if you do it to the other people.
So, you know, the idea also is that that the Jewish people are kind of special because they need this special land to protect them because they suffered the Holocaust. Well, there's lots of groups, indigenous ethnic groups that don't have their own. How about the American Indians?
That are an actual group and not a religion.
American Indians.
And not really a race.
American Indians, they don't have their own country. The Aborigines, they don't have their own country.
Oh, and it doesn't keep you safe, by the way.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. I've heard this 3 times. If there's not Israel, no Jew is safe anywhere in the world unless
Really?
Israel
Have you been to New York? They're very safe.
Wait. Hold
They're
on.
very
that's
safe.
What keeps Jews.
Have you been to
that's why Jews are always going on about how safe they feel all the time because Israel's keeping them safe from across. That's why you always see your Jewish friends like, oh, I feel so safe. You know, they won't shut up about somebody said something and I didn't even make a big deal about it because I feel so safe because I know Israel's there. I'm not paranoid all day long. What is everyone talking about? It keeps you safe? Well, not on October 7th. It didn't keep you safe, did it?
Nope. Hey, come see us live on tour in Los Angeles, Palm Springs, Stockholm, Amsterdam, Rotterdam, Berlin, Copenhagen, Oslo, Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, Cortland, New York, Oakmont, Pennsylvania, right outside Pittsburgh, El Paso, and San Antonio, Texas. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for all those tickets.